Hello everyone. In this video series, we will demonstrate installing and setting up OpenVMS version 9.2 on VirtualBox. We'll start with getting distributions from the service portal and installing the system. If you already have it installed, feel free to skip to the next videos where we install licenses, set up networking, and install additional products. First of all, let's check that you have VirtualBox installed and all the VMS distributions that you need. I am running Ubuntu version 22.04 and I'm running VirtualBox version 6.1. You will also need an OpenVMS ISO, any product distributions that you may want to install later, and a license pack. The distributions will come from the service portal, so you just go to sp.vmssoftware.com, log in, go to packages, and you have a filter here. You can filter by architecture, we need x86, and you can filter by kit type. So the operating system will be under OE, and then compilers and most of the layered products that you need will go under layered products. For example, here is the operating system. At the moment on the portal, we have version 9.2-1 available. I will be installing version 9.2-2, and there is no difference. So if you still only have version 9.2-1 available, go ahead and install that. It will work just fine. And I will also be demonstrating how to install the C compiler, for example, and you can get the same C compiler right now on the portal. If you enter C, and there it is. So I have already downloaded the files and they are here. Here is the ISO that I will be using. Here is the C compiler. And the packs you will get from the sales team when you buy the license or get the evaluation license. So we have everything that we need and we can get started. First, let's create the virtual machine that will be running OpenVMS. I've written a little script for you to make this easier. I'll walk you through it now, and you will find it in the notes below the video so you can copy and use it. You will probably need to make changes to this top section above. Give your VM a meaningful name. Check that the ISO file name is correct and the path to the file name is correct. Check the name of the system disk that will be created. Maybe you want another name, maybe you already have a system disk VDI or VMDK that you want to use, and then give your controller a meaningful name that doesn't clash with other controller names. And if you need to change any VM settings, such as the number of CPUs and the amount of memory, you can do that. We just don't recommend going below the settings that you have here, because your virtual machine might not work in that case. You will also notice that it will use the serial port on localhost port 2024. If you want to change that, you're welcome to do so. And you will also notice that we have two disks attached to this VM. We have the installation ISO in port 1 of the SATA controller. That is our installation disk. And we have the system disk that we are creating right here. By default, it's 8 GB, but you can have a bigger size or you can add more system disks if you want. So that system disk is in port 0. And if you want to have more disks, then you're very welcome to just copy this command and attach more disks to your SATA controller. And the system disk, this one will come in as DK0, and this will be displayed as DK100 on the VMS virtual machine. Okay, so this is the script, and I don't need to make any changes, so I'll just go ahead and run it. Okay, so the VM has been successfully created, and it prompts us to run with this command, which we will do. And it has been successfully started. So all I need to do now is connect to the console. And OPA0 is now on our localhost port 2024. and it's connected, and you can see that we already have the boot manager there. However, the default settings of Telnet do not agree with the way VMS parses some things, passwords in particular. So we need to alter some settings to make sure that we can enter the system password when installing VMS. So right now I'm pressing Control right square bracket to go into the Telnet menu, and I'll use two commands, mode character, and once again, Control right square bracket, unset echo, and now we're done. If you're using a terminal emulator like PuTTY, you can find these settings in the terminal section of the setting window, the GUI, but I'm using the console, so this is how to do it on the console. Okay, now we're ready, and from the sysboot prompt, we can see that there is one bootable disk, DK100. Let's go ahead and boot from that disk. And I'll just speed up the video so we don't have to wait. Okay, so this took a little while, and as usual, we want to install OpenVMS, and because the system disk is empty and we didn't have VMS installed prior, we want to initialize. The target disk is DK0, the one we just created in port 0 of the SATA controller. And the label for the system disk, let's keep it this way. Yes, enable hard links. Yes, this is okay. Yes. And let's enter the password for the system account. Now, if you skipped the previous step in setting up Telnet and you didn't use mode character or unset echo, chances are the default settings will be echoing your password, and that will result in you not being able to enter the password. So the system will not accept it. So you need to change the Telnet settings either in your terminal emulator GUI or right here by pressing Control right square bracket and entering mode character and unset echo. I have already done that, so I'll go ahead and just enter my new password. SCS node. And no, not planning to use DECnet. Yes. Enter your desired time zone. Mine is Copenhagen. Yes, this is correct. And not on daylight savings time. Yes, this is correct. You can register your packs now, but I will register them as my next step. So entering no. Not installing Tech Windows, although if you want to, you can. Not installing TechNet Plus, not installing TechNet Phase 4, and no detailed descriptions, yes. So this will take a little while as well. I'll speed up the video. All right, we now have a VM running OpenVMS on VirtualBox. Let's shut down the system. We will need to reboot once. And you can now see that we have two devices that we can boot from, including DK0, which is our new system disk. So let's go ahead and boot from DK0. All right, and now we're ready to go. If you have problems setting this up, you're very welcome to browse our forum, forum.vmssoftware.com. It's likely that other users have already run into similar issues, but if not, you can start a new thread and ask for help from the community. In the next video, we'll install the operating system license and set up networking. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.